Welcome back. Over the past several weeks, doctors are seeing an increase in illnesses among kids. And as kids return to school from winter break, we have invited Dr. Theresa Horton from Utica Park Clinic up to talk to us about some of the major illnesses that you're seeing in the office now and how parents can help keep their kids from maybe getting sick or even too sick, because these are some pretty contagious illnesses that are around town at this point. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you,
first of all. Now, what are some of those common illnesses? There's more than one.
There's so many going around, and it's been quite busy for the last several months. So we're still seeing some flu. Coronavirus, which had taken a little lull, has kind of risen back up again, although still not at anywhere near the high levels that we had this time last year. We're seeing a lot of para-influenza and rhinovirus and adenovirus, and strep has returned. And so basically all of the normal colds and viruses. RSV, thank goodness, has come down a little on that one, but we're still seeing a good amount as well.
And these are ones that you bring your child into the office and they get tested for it in office?
Some of the ones we'll run tests for in the office. Strep, of course, and that's important because you want antibiotic treatment for that particular illness. Flu and RSV, most offices will do a rapid test, and sometimes there's a treatment. If flu is found early in the course, you can start one of the antivirals within the first 48 hours. Sometimes it can shorten the course. And that's especially important if a child is at high risk for more serious complications.
Yes.
Some of the viruses, we can't change what we do in the outcome, but it can be helpful to know what you're working with. Most of the viruses we don't test routinely in the office because it doesn't make a significant difference in treatment.
Now, have you seen children coming in, I guess, and have had multiple of these infections? So like maybe at one point they've had, RSV, and then now they have the flu, or kind of, seeing multiple infections.
It is sad but true. So we will often see one, and then they'll turn around, if they're lucky, get a couple of weeks break, and then turn back around and have another, and then a third. And sometimes they'll piggyback on top of each other. You'll be on antibiotics for an ear infection and then turn around and get another virus on top of that. Yeah. And sadly, sometimes we'll see children with two at the same time, either having flu and coronavirus or strep and flu. And it's significantly harder on the children when they have two at the same time.
And with COVID-19 and the flu, how important is it for kids to get the vaccine?
It's extremely important, especially with both. Flu we're seeing a little bit more of, and the number of hospitalizations and the number of pediatric deaths from flu has been significantly higher this year than it has really in the last 10 years. So highly recommend, because even when the vaccine, which this year has been a very good match, but even if it only decreases the severity of the illness, that in and of itself is very important.
Absolutely.
They're also finding some early studies showing that if you were to get coronavirus with flu or with another virus, that it significantly increases the severity and increases the chances of having long COVID symptoms.
Yes.
So both vaccines are definitely recommended.
Okay. And fever, is that the sign of like, hey, my child does not need to be around anybody, go to school? Is that kind of that threshold of like?
Without a doubt, fever's the big one.
The big one, okay.
If your child has a temperature over 100, then they really should stay home. And the recommendation is to continue to be home until you've been fever-free, which is a temperature under 100 without any medications for a full 24 hours before you can be comfortable that they're less contagious.
Yes. 24 hours, fever-free. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Horton.
Thank you so much, Stacia.
We will be right back.